It was June 10, 2000, when London's famous Millennium Bridge was opened to the public for the first time since its construction. For the past 2 years, people have been eagerly waiting for the completion of the construction of this iconic bridge, so when it was opened, everyone wanted to use it on the first day. This bridge was built for pedestrians only to cross the River Thames in London. But as soon as people started walking on it, the Millennium Bridge began to sway badly. Seeing this, the authorities took action. For the first 2 days, the police stopped everyone from crowding the bridge, but after 2 days, it was closed again for the next 2 years. After this incident, this famous Bridge of London had come into the eyes of the world. All the engineers who built it sat together and wondered how such a strong bridge could move just because of people walking. The reason for this was something that engineers had not been able to predict before. It was a problem that dared to go against the laws of nature and shake the biggest mystery of physics. About 192 years ago in 1831, some soldiers of the British Army were parading and passing over Broughton Suspension Bridge in northern England. The Broughton Suspension Bridge collapsed due to the synchronization of the soldiers' footsteps, in which 60 soldiers fell into the river and many were seriously injured. Fortunately, no one was killed in the accident, but after that day, the British Army gave instructions to its soldiers that they were not to pass together and parade when crossing any bridge. This was the practice not only of the British Army, but of militaries around the world for many years to come. Rather, it is followed in some places till today. It was the soldiers whose unison steps brought down the Broughton Suspension Bridge. But if you look at the footage of London's Millennium Bridge, you notice something strange. That the people walking here are not soldiers, but why their steps are so synchronized, and why this modern footbridge built in the 21st century could not withstand their synchronization. We get the answer to this from an experiment that took place 350 years ago. In 1665, a famous Dutch physicist, Christian Huygens, built the world's first pendulum clock. The purpose of these clocks was to tell sailors at sea where they were at the moment. In earlier times, sailors used to estimate their location at sea by looking at the position of the sun or the stars. But that was just a guess. From this, the latitude, north-south position was known, but if they know the accurate time, it will also allow them to know their longitude, their east-west location. Clocks in this era were either forward or backward by 15 minutes a day, meaning they were useless for this purpose. The pendulum clock built by Huygens was only out by 15 seconds a day. Huygens' plan was to hang 2 pendulum clocks on a ship with heavy weights so that the motion of the pendulum clocks would not be disturbed by the waves, and to have a backup clock in case one was damaged. To test these pendulum clocks, Huygens first hung them both from a wood stick at home. Huygens started both blocks one by one, but after a while, Huygens noticed that the 2 clocks had synchronized. If the pendulum of the left-handed clock swings to the left, at the same time the pendulum of the right-handed clock swings to the right. Huygens did not understand this strange behavior of clocks. They moved both clocks again, but after 30 minutes, they were back in synchronize with each other. Huygens thought there might be an air pressure connection between the two, so he placed a cardboard between the 2 clocks, but after 2 minutes, the clocks were back in sync with each other. Then, finally, they separated these 2 clocks from each other. Hanging one from one chair and the other from another chair, he noticed that the inaudible connection of the clocks was now broken. But when these 2 clocks were hanging from the same wood, then what was the connection between them? In this video, 32 metronomes are placed on a table and started at different times. That is, their starting is not synchronized, but after only 2 minutes, you can see that these 32 by 32 metronomes are amazingly synchronized automatically, while apparently they have no connection other than this table. This secret connection of synchronization does not only apply to non-living things. Fireflies are very good friends with each other. Research has noticed that when fireflies are together, they all shine in sync with each other. But for this, it is necessary that one firefly is close enough to the other that its flash can reach the other. If they are too far apart, their flashing synchronization will be broken. The more fireflies in an area, the greater the chance that they will all flash in sync. In the same way, we humans also create synchronization with each other in many cases. In this video, the audience claps for a performance. In the beginning, everyone was clapping with their own frequency, but you can see for yourself what happened next. No one told them to do this, yet everyone matched their clapping frequency to each other. This phenomenon of synchronization is not limited to one or two things. If you look at the example of the heart, our heart moves in sync with our body. A normal person, if he runs fast, his heart rate will increase immediately because the heart has to deliver oxygen-rich blood to the brain. But if there is a problem in the heart, its synchronization does not match with the body. This is called irregular heartbeat, or in medical terms, arrhythmia. In this condition, the heart rate increases by itself. Now the heart is pumping more blood, but the lungs are not inhaling more oxygen, so the brain will get more blood and less oxygen. And in this situation, a person can die. Similarly, even if the heart rate slows down automatically, a person can die. That is, less synchronization is harmful, but more synchronization can also cause problems. Now, with all these examples in mind, let's look again at the Millennium Bridge. It happened that when so many people started walking together, the steps of many people automatically synchronized with each other. The design of the Millennium Bridge was such that its cables supported the bridge from the side rather than from above. In civil engineering, and especially in structural engineering, it is a rule that the resolution frequency of a footbridge is not kept equal to the frequency of human steps while designing it. When we sit on a swing and swing our legs forward or backward along with the frequency of the swing automatically accelerates. Similarly, when people started walking together on the Millennium Bridge, their frequency matched the frequency of the bridge, and the bridge began to sway slightly because the cables of the bridge were attached to the side, hence the movement of the bridge was sideways. Due to this sideways movement, people also started walking sideways to balance themselves, and then, due to resonance, the movement of the bridge became faster and faster, like a swing. Once the problem was properly diagnosed, engineers installed a total of 89 shock absorbers on the Millennium Bridge, 37 to dissipate energy, and 52 to control vertical movement. After completing its work, the Millennium Bridge was tested again in February 2002. The company arranged for more than 2,000 people and ran them on the bridge. This test is considered to be the world's largest bridge test. After the test, a significant reduction in bridge movement was observed as predicted. Even today, predicting synchronization is much more difficult than finding the visible connection between two or more bodies. This is a natural phenomenon that is also observed in birds when they fly together. When honeybees are together, not only do they vocalize in unison, but they also flap their wings together when they feel threatened while sitting on the hive, as can be seen in this video. I hope you will like and share this video. Thank you very much for your love.